And this researcher today presents country profile of United Arab Emirates. UAE, located in southwest of Asia, was established and united in 1971 by Sheikh Zayed. Despite its small size, it has become an important player in regional and global affairs. United Arab Emirates is an important economic and tourist center, in addition to being the most developed, stable, and secure country in the world. Their currency is dirham and the official religion is Islam, and Arabic is their official language. From 50s to 70s, there was a total dependence on fishing, agriculture, and imperial trade. And when the country was united in 1971 by Sheikh Zayed, he established ADNOC Petroleum Company for oil exploration, and here the economy boomed greatly. This is what the rise in GDP shows. In the 80s, the United Arab Emirates suffered from the large deficit due to the depressing in oil prices, as the country was dependent on it. So, the country decided to diversify its economic sources. This period also witnessed a big jump in the entry of the private sector in the field of industrial investment, as well as the entry of privatization, financial liberalization, and reduction of government intervention to the Emirati economic flows. Therefore, we can say that the Emirates has invested in many sectors that contribute to boost and develop the economy, such as manufacturing industries, aviation like Emirates Airlines, which is one of the best global airlines, and tourism sector, especially in Dubai, which has become one of the most attractive destinations in the world. Banks, trade, and real estate sector, as there are many areas called free zones that attract many companies and institutions for many advantages, such as it doesn't impose any taxes at all. And in the technology sector, as UAE ranks second in the world in terms of using modern technology and creating smart cities. And innovation sector, as UAE has developed a plan for 100 national initiatives in innovation in educational, health, energy, transportation, space and water sectors, with investment reaching more than $80 billion. As GDP per capita is an important indicator of economic performance, we can see that it is always on the rise, which indicates that it is an economically developed country. And in 2019, it was more than $41,000. As a development should be measured less by material output measures and more by capabilities and opportunities that people enjoy. This is what a Human Development Index shows, which is based on life expectancy at birth, educational attainment, and level of economic well-being of the population. Life expectancy at birth for Emiratis is 77.8 years. This is also related to the health of the population in United Arab Emirates, where the quality of healthcare has improved dramatically since the country was united, as there has been a significant decrease in spread of disease among people. Also, in 2019, UAE ranked first globally in health sector. Secondly is educational attainment. Development of education is one of the priorities in Emirates, as Sheikh Zayed stated that the greatest use that can be made of wealth is to invest it in creating generation of educated and trained people. In 1975, adult and youth literacy rates were approximately 54% and 63%, whereas in 2005 it increases to reach over 90% in adult population and over 95% in youth population. Finally, the level of economic well-being of the population, which is measured by gross national income. GNI per capita in Emirates is $43,470, which is relatively very good, as it's higher than Japan, South Korea, and New Zealand. So after these measures, the Human Development Index in Emirates is 0.866. Economic development or human development is the greatest significance for Australian firm. First, they are completed and impacted each other as they are mutually inclusive. As a human development increases with the increase in economic development and vice versa. And both of these measures attract companies and investment to have a presence in that country. A high human development refers to high living conditions, health and education standards, which ultimately leads to have protective people, which is what companies and organizations looking for. In several empirical studies, the role of a human capital has been found to be a critical source of economic growth. And economic growth is a means to that process, but it's not an end in itself. It needs a protective, educated, trained human capital. That affects economic growth through increasing the productivity of physical capital, technological development, and its spread. Also, high economic development means that there is a good infrastructure, high use of technology, and having multiple and different economic sources, which attract different companies and organizations to this country. Therefore, both of economic development and the human development are a great significance to an Australian firm considering establishing a presence in United Arab Emirates.
First, oil industry, natural gas industry, cement industry, and primary aluminium industry.
First, let's define and analyze some classical trade theories. The most used ones are absolute advantage and comparative advantage. Absolute advantage is when a country can produce goods or services in a greater quantity for the same cost or the same quantity at a lower cost than other countries. Comparative advantage is an economy's ability to produce a particular good or service at a lower opportunity cost than its trading partner. When the country that is more efficient at the production of a good, it would choose to specialize in that good. But this isn't always the case. Rather than absolute advantage, comparative advantage is the driving force of specialization. So, when countries decide what product to specialize in, the essential question becomes how could it produce the product at lower opportunity cost? And opportunity cost refers to what must be given up in order to obtain that item. So, let's take a real example. If Emirates and Australia are trading partners of importing and exporting oil and aluminium, in the first look, we would say that Emirates should produce both of them as it has absolute advantage. But in reality, by using comparative advantage and calculating opportunity cost, we will find that Australia has a lower opportunity cost of producing aluminium, and Emirates has a lower opportunity cost of producing oil. Therefore, when Emirates and Australia allocate and specialize in a product that comparatively most efficient in its production than other, both nations will benefit from trade, as larger quantity would be available for both nations and there will be efficient allocation of global resources. As there are positive sides, there are downsides of specialization, like threats of uncompetitive sectors due to the availability of cheaper and better imports. Also, the risk of over-specialization, as the demand of one product would shift and change. Overall, most economists support to specialize in 2 or 3 products that the country most efficient at with another country, following the optimal theory, which is comparative advantage, as it has massive benefits for trading nations in many aspects.
That's all. I hope you enjoyed this country profile video.